Andy was singing for us. It was great. So we have some characters.
Good job, everyone.
Who have like gear and stats and all those sorts of things. So I think it might be good to just like jump into a scene and introduce people. So I'm trying to work out like, I feel like the obvious jump in place is actually the car park to the like ranger's hut. In that's a place where all three people might potentially be.
I was thinking the nurse's clinic was the complimentary equivalent of like.
I don't think I have a clinic.
Oh, okay, you're like
She's
entirely a traveling nurse.
I just go to people's houses.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
This is I'm assuming this is one of the it's a town that doesn't have a doctor in town. It is.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there actually could be.
But you do home visits?
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of a. This is part of like the enigma part, right? Is like I'm perfectly like legally allowed to do what I do, but I'm not sort of associated with any of the normal channels.
Yeah.
There's like a doctor/pharmacist.
Yeah.
But like, there's not enough time in the day for them to like do that, and also like, and deal with like more serious injuries, and also like go out to visit like all of the like old people.
Yeah,
with,
home
like,
visits is a traditionally like often like nurse's role. My mum does a lot of that in her role as a midwife, is going picking up on people and their babies and stuff.
Your mum's a character from Call the Midwife. Amazing.
It also says something about the folks who are local to this space about who they prefer to seek out for care.
Definitely.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I want to open on there being something that hasn't. I think it's a wolf. I think there's a wolf in on like the far side of the car park, and there just hasn't been because there's not been like because the biome has been so fucked up. There just hasn't been a wolf seen in ages, and there's just one like standing there growling at the Jeep.
I imagine that like myself and Ray have like been either like have been doing something that is related to Ray's health. That maybe we're just like finishing up with either like medication, something, or like.
I'm picturing like either that or like you and Hart were like having a conversation about like the other medical situation, and like it was at about that point that I like made my return to town, and so we're like. I still like I haven't even got out of the car yet.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Like they did
It's
like
just a fucking wolf, so I can't get out of the car yet.
Yeah, I feel like from the inside of the hut, we hear the engine to the Jeep turn off, but this other sound continues, and it's like there's like this other rumbling sound. This is like the and yeah, it's like that doesn't sound like a car. What do the two of you look like inside the hut, and what's the inside of the hut like?
Oh gosh, the first thing that you run into when you walk inside of like this like kind of left behind ranger station is like a tall counter that's a little bit too close to the door. Right, like it just you like immediately walk into it. It's sort of it's very much in the way.
Yeah.
And behind that, there's I'm sure like a messy desk that's actually rather empty in the minute, but there's like a couple of empty cups and unwashed coffee cups, and some very like uncomfortable vinyl chairs, and like a beaten like tatty couch. Yeah. And it's like a television and a radio. Yeah, like what else, please? I'm thinking.
Is there like a big, really like sort of slightly too cheerful map like up on the wall of like the the ocean area, and it's like kind of aimed at like family fun or like
yes.
Yeah. And like it's got a huge
wild deer.
It's got a huge oak deer like leering in through from the corner. There has to be a two-way radio. I feel like
I actually wondered whether there is. Oh no, maybe that's. It's hard because like I'm curious about where the balance is here between like does the general feel of this group slash organization lean more in the like conservation area or more in the like hunting and sightseeing kind of area? Because like more that way, I'd almost say maybe there is like a stuffed
taxidermy one.
My imagining, I imagine that they try to do both at the same time, and so that they constantly conflict and like exist in paradox in their messaging.
Yeah.
So there absolutely is the taxidermied figurehead of a you tell me in this space, along with all these outdated,
But
faded.
it's like it's taxidermied so that it's awkwardly smiling.
Yeah.
Next to it is a sign that's like save. It's like a very old petition that never got delivered to like save the Montana oak deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I love it.
Oh dear.
The petition's got to be on that like that thing that you bump in the like pedestal or whatever that you bump into on the way in, right? Like it's just there in your face, and it's got like heaps and heaps of signatures that just like stop in like 5 years ago. And it's just like, and like one after that from like a year ago because someone someone thought it was a guest book and they were like had a nice time. Like,
Perfect.
Amazing.
yeah.
I think like the conversation that we've just been having, I feel like maybe it's been a slightly like awkward conversation about our shared person.
Yeah.
Wherein like I'm seeking some old records or old information or something maybe about their health.
Nice. Yeah. Is this person's name? I'm always going to be going with the animals and plants. Is it Birch? Is it?
I like Birch.
Okay.
That's
What are their pronouns?
She, her.
Cool. All right. Yep. So I think like I'm sort of kind of uncomfortably trying to coax out of you like a piece of information about maybe like some past like an operation that like maybe Birch had a while back, and she either has been too sick recently to like remember and explain the details of that to me, or like just hasn't wanted to, but it's like really important.
She's ashamed of it.
Yeah. Woof.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that she used to be quite successful at a hunting-related sport.
Right.
Like biathlon or something.
It's like the
Marksmanship.
career-ending.
It's the career-ending injury.
Yeah.
So she,
Marksmanship and something to do with maybe vision.
or like one of
hands and tendons.
Yeah.
Great. I have an imagining that Hart was like aimlessly like cleaning something that didn't need cleaned when you showed up. And would you have shown up with like an excuse, or would you have gotten down to it, or what would that process have looked like? Is it just sort of? I imagine you come by relatively frequently.
I think I come by frequently, and thankfully not always about this. I think when I do come by with questions about this person, about Birch, like I'm relatively I sort of open with that and say like I'm sorry, I need to ask you some questions about Birch, and it's sort of a bit of a like I know you hate doing this kind of thing. So yeah.
They totally have Birch totally
again.
I'm thinking an injury that involves like head trauma, so therefore some level of amnesia.
Sure.
Oh yeah. So
TBA.
like I genuinely wasn't sure whether it's like is she genuinely forgetting this information, or is she not telling me?
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes I think Birch pretends to have forgotten things.
So yeah, she's probably got like vision issues, probably like a hand tremor.
Maybe some slight like speech,
Yeah.
like a slur or something.
Sure. Traumatic brain injury, right? Like,
I'm curious to know what Hart looks like.
oh gosh. What does Hart look like? I feel like. Are any of you familiar with what park ranger uniforms look like?
Yeah.
And just so I have an imagining that Hart is totally wearing the trousers from the park ranger uniform and is wearing some like hard, like long worn black t-shirt with some sort of like Save the Birds logo on it that's like so faded it's gone brown, right? Like that sort of old age. So she's not really in uniform, but close. But like the classic hat might sometimes be like on her head as like a way to make a point, right? As a tool and counterpoint. And I feel like Hart is probably, oh gosh, shorter than the amount of space she takes up. And sort of, yeah, that's what I know right now, and kind of messy with.
Cool. I like it.
That's what I got.
That's awesome.
What does a Guaida look like?
Yeah, I think Agueda is like probably like by the sounds of it, like out of the three of us, like the tallest, but not really a tall person. And she has very dark hair that is like quite wavy, and she always has it in like a really tight ponytail, and then it like goes like at the back, you know, it's that like really wild once it gets out of the ponytail. And she's got kind of like darkish olivey toned skin. She always wears clothes that are like quite practical, but they're always like super brightly colored, and like with lots of sort of like fine detail patterning, and like she likes sort of blouses that have beads on them and things like that.
Yes.
And she always like smells really strongly, like spices. She has a very like it always smells like she's just been cooking, like constantly. She's just come out of the kitchen.
Cool.
Superb.
Yeah.
Which spices specifically, Emily? This is important. Are we talking we're talking like a cardamom type smell, or like a
cardamom
nutmeg type smell, or like what's
turmeric?
Cardamom and paprika. Like smoked paprika.
Cool.
I should make a curry this week.
So yeah, like, what is the status of the conversation about these records? Where are you up to?
I feel like there's this moment in what has. I feel like Hart spends a fair amount of time ignoring you, like making this plea, and goes like, well, "I'm kind of busy. Like, clean this very shiny spot on the."
Which is like a ridiculous thing to say, because you know I'm probably very aware of like the situation with work, and like
yeah,
nothing for you to do.
Yeah, no eye contact is made with this comment, right? Like,
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like the right words.
Oh, yeah, that might be a move.
This is a role-playing game, people. There's mechanics.
Oh yeah.
So like bring us all to remind us all.
Do you feel like you're concealing your true feelings to manipulate someone? Sorry, Hart. Like, do you have an intention?
There's this. I think the intention here is to try, like, the idea of unearthing someone else's information without like first talking to them at least seems real. Like, doesn't seem okay. So there's sort of this like trying to care about Birch, one, because like it's a difficult. I imagine like it's a difficult topic in and of itself, and try not to alienate Emily's character, who I care. Like, how do I make everyone happy? I don't do anything.
Yeah, right. So
That's-
yeah. So do you feel like you're concealing your true feelings to manipulate Agueda into like leaving and like letting
Like
you
dropping it.
Dropping it for
Dropping it.
today.
Yeah.
Like just like leaving. Yeah, I think very much.
Cool.
Great.
So you need to roll smart. Now. So,
Are you good at that? Is that one of your good stats?
It turns out it is.
Hey,
cool.
that's good. I'm terrible at that.
Oh,
Me too.
Are you really? That is. Hart is very smart.
No, well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad we have a smart someone on the team.
One smarty pants. So yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
you're right. But I realize I because I had a piece of paper in front of me, wrote these things down on the piece of paper, because that's me, but not in the Roll20 sheet. But I'm doing that right now, and I fixed it.
Emily, while we're in the moment, just to have as much diversity as possible, which stat did you go high?
Steady, closely followed by weird.
Excellent. I had steady as my high as well, and I was changing it anyway, so that's good.
Sure, great. Okay, what is your highest now?
I am very true.
Excellent.
That's
I'm
exciting.
a child.
Nicely
Wonderful.
done. So good. There. Now we were all our own as best as we can be. Great. So I'm gonna roll smart, trying to get Agueda to kind of leave off.
Leave it. Yeah.
And I love that no one is very weird, right? Like,
Take
no
the
one is
plus
strong
out of
weird.
your your box there.
Thank you.
That is a 9. So 7 and 9 for the right words is they give you something close to what you ask for. Either way, ask them, what does manipulation cost you?
Yes. Great. Something close to what I asked. Okay.
It sounds to me like the obvious answer is like that she's going to drop it for today.
Perfect.
There's something like, oh, I'll come visit you like on this day, or like, you know, I'll call you or something annoying where you're like, oh, this is
outside of work, when you don't have the excuse of being busy,
Exactly.
we can touch base then and talk about it.
Right, like I'll see you for dinner over at so and so's place. Since like that weekly, nightly, whatever.
yeah.
It's Joe's, and it's a like steakhouse, greasy spoon like diner.
That everybody goes to on the one night. Cause
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like community bingo happens, and there's square dancing.
Yes.
what color is your bingo dauber?
I mean, I don't have one because I don't live here.
All right.
Yep. Perfect. And what was the question?
Yeah, Andy, you
What
need to
does
ask
my
a question.
manipulation cost you?
Yeah. What does that? Yeah. What does that manipulation cost you?
I think I feel I remain anxious about Birch. Like I feel like I can't get on with my job in the way that I sort of am hoping. So I remain a little bit like, okay, well, I'll sort this out, but in the meantime, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. So I think it just means that she keeps thinking about it.
Yeah.
Got it. So you're distracted and kind of consumed by that.
Yeah. Agueda, are you on your way out then when Ray's truck pulls up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I sort of like, kind of organize to organize. By organize, I mean like say at you. Oh yeah, we'll talk about it at the, at dinner.
Joe's.
And sort of like I'm like, yes, that's good, excellent. We've solved that. That sounds like a great plan. And
Great.
kind of like making my way out.
Yeah, and so like we hear this rattly truck, this rattly Jeep pull up, and then the engine halts, and I mean, I feel like Hart definitely like recognizes the sound of a grey wolf, right? Like,
And I recognize the sound of the truck.
yeah.
Yes. Great. So that means we're both headed out the door, I imagine.
Yeah, I think I have stopped in the door as soon as I hear and then see the truck. And I think I haven't even noticed, I probably don't notice the wolf until you come out or react to it.
And the truck is just sitting, the engine is turned off, but the truck is just sitting there, no one inside is getting out. It's just this wolf roaming around the Jeep.
Yeah, there's the smell of a diesel engine. There's the smell of all of the collected fallen leaves and things like that are creating a sort of mustiness. And there's just this wolf growling and the tink 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 of the engine cooling down.
Cooling. Gorgeous.
Yeah, and I think if you listen really closely, there's also another noise that's humming, like inside the truck, like Ray is just like sitting there, like making like non-threatening eye contact with the wolf when it's near enough, just like humming, making these like wordless, soothing, like animal-like noises.
Great.
If the wolf was a PC, I would be attempting to quietly share space with someone.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right? Like my solution to the wolf is just like we're just gonna hang out together and let you get like used to me, and then we'll do a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just
Like,
like
cool.
waiting to see what
Yeah.
will happen.
Yeah, the wolf is not dangerous. No
Yeah.
need to panic.
Which means that there's no fear or tension for you to meet with, so that's really interesting. Cool.
I think
There's two of you awkwardly in the door.
yeah.
Too close.
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Literally too close.
Yep. Yeah, I think I've sort of like done that thing where like I get partway out the door, I see the truck, and I kind of like I like smile a little bit sort of crookedly and kind of say, you know, like, look who's back, and like kind of lean on the like open door and watch the truck coming in, and then yeah, like once you come up and like, how does Hart react to the wolf? What is it that like makes me know?
What that looks like is Hart rolls up in the doorway with you, and then very like unhesitatingly like shoves you behind her like with a shoulder and be like, you mean the wolf?
Yeah, and I like kind of do a bit of a like double take, and then once I see it, I like take a further step sort of backward so that I am like definitely being behind you.
Great.
And yeah, kind of I say like, is that are they usually here?
No. That's a
Think
Is there
so.
a wolf that lives in this car park that I've just never noticed?
Right. Do we need something?
Did the wolf come with the jeep?
It's possible.
Doesn't seem to like the jeep.
Yeah, I think we're just like watching the wolf going around and like
Yeah, there's
commentary of like the wolf jeep relationship.
and I've been imagining that the conversation is very easy now.
Yeah, once we are just both distracted by something else.
Yeah, pointed in the same direction versus in conflict, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like we see like a hand, and like I think this is at a distance, like we don't see it in detail. We see like a hand just like extend out the window and just like drop a piece of jerky to the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ash, I feel like this is, even though I'm bad at this move, I feel like this is when you conceal your true feelings to manipulate someone.
Are you concealing your true feelings?
How afraid are you?
Yeah, well, there's the question.
You're
right?
not.
I'm like, yeah, I don't
What
think I am
happens-
actually. So
look,
I don't think
you're
it's a
not-
move, actually.
Yeah, you're not making a move. In which case, the Luke, the jerky gets like dropped out, and
I get to mark XP.
and the wolf, I think, like grabs a hold of it, and like climbs under the jeep, I think, and starts like tearing at it, and like jealously was the word I wanted. Like jealously pulls it under the car.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is mine, and like and like while it's eating the jerky, it's also like it's near one of the tires, so it's like on the jerky, but then also like occasionally mouthing on the tire as well, and just being like, I'm gonna eat part of this as well.
Oh no. As soon as it starts doing that, Hart will like sigh and start like grumbling, and will kind of take a step out the door to where the hose is hooked up to the spigot.
Yep. Yeah.
And we hear like noise from inside the Jeep, and the hand comes back out, and there's like a packet of like a shitty packet of like, the crappy like convenience store jerky you buy. That I picked up at like the last gas station, and I just like empty it out like next to the side of the Jeep. I'm just like, it's chill, like this is fine. And then we see the opposite door open.
Yeah.
Because the wolf's chill. It's fine.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and I think like Ray steps out of the jeep.
And Hart's just like standing there holding the hose. I love the image of this. Like, I have such a great image for this sort of.
It's kind of surreal. Yeah.
It's good.
Fantastic.
And so Ray, to talk a little bit about them.
Yeah.
Ray is small, like really small, like maybe 5 foot, if that. And like really compactly built. They're wearing like very, very traditional like working clothes. Like they've got this big like oilskin duster.
Yes.
And then like really, really ancient like worn blue jeans, and then like a cotton shirt that's probably like flannel checkered kind of pattern. And then like one of those like weird handkerchief like bandana things that a lot of cowboys use. I don't know. I'm just describing what I think a cowboy looks like right now. Yeah, and this hat with like the bells on it. And they've got these like strong, like gnarled hands. And everything about them is just like windswept and worn. And I think even though there's not much of a breeze at the moment, like the duster is like flapping, and like we can hear the like flapping noise of the like heavy fabric against it, like the canvas.
Yeah.
And they have their hair is like very, very close cropped. Like it's basically just like stubble, like mostly gone gray and white. And they have these like bright like eyes, like full of like wonder, peeking out of this like little wizened old face, and these like round like Harry Potter style glasses. Yeah, and they just like step out of the jeep and like kind of nod approvingly at the dog, at the wolf now, you know, eating the jerky, and just kind of like walk over towards the center.
I think I like call out to you and I'm like, Ray, it's been a while. How are you?
Has been a while at that.
And like when Agueda says how are you, like it's very like pointed, and it doesn't mean like how are you emotionally. It means like how is your illness.
And they like come up. And I think like I don't know if you even heard any of that. Like they're very soft spoken, like normally. Like doing just fine. Doing just fine.
I look distinctly like I don't believe you.
How you been?
You know, nothing exciting's happened yet with your friend there, but why don't you both come back inside for the minute? And Hart will go like slam the hose back down, turn the spigot off, and like walk back inside.
Don't you mind none, child. He don't mean no harm.
I like kind of,
but I do go inside.
Yeah. I sort of do
like
this
it's
thing.
important to you.
Yeah. I kind of do this thing where I sort of like herd you with like. With my like the way that I move my body is like kind of I'm not, even if I don't necessarily like put my hands on you, I sort of move such as to guide you inside, and probably toward it, like one of the vinyl chairs or whatever.
And I think like in the same way that children do, like I am very distinctly aware that I am being managed, but I am tolerating it.
Yeah.
Outside the wolf is like it like chews on the ground and pile of jerky for a little bit and then like rolls in it for a bit, but I think that's all we see of it before we go with the camera cuts inside.
I think I've sort of stayed in the doorway such that I can kind of talk to Ray, but also still have an eye on like what's happening outside, because I am like, I'm aware that there is a dangerous animal and Hart is out there and like she knows what she's doing, but also I'm concerned. But yeah, I think I sort of like look Ray over and say to them, so Where have you come from?
No more than a couple 100 miles. That was good work down south.
Mm-hmm. Will you be needing more of your medicine while you're here? I figure you're out.
Yeah,
Probably a
when
while
I
ago.
ran out, part of the reason I came back around this time.
I think there's like Agueda's like demeanor is very obviously like I'm slightly like mad about something, but I'm like I don't want to say that. So it's a little like she's a bit tense, sort of standing there asking you all of these like very casual questions and trying not to ask like, why have you had so many months without medicine? What the heck are you doing? Like,
yeah, and I think they just like cock their head and like look at you in this like piercing way, and they're like, "What's the matter?"
And she like shrugs and she sighs and she says, I think there is a line that she like always says that's like you know oh you know me always working. And it's like it's an evasive kind of thing, like you know it
Work
to
yourself to death to save others. In the end, can't save others with work at all.
I think she like doesn't answer and like turns like to face out the door and says like, Hart, you're right out there? How's our friend?
All Hart has spent the time doing is getting a couple pictures with and we'll have in you calling out Hart is right there. Go ahead.
Do you have a phone in your gear?
Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. Double check.
So that's what I was, thanks. That's what I was imagining where the on-camera was coming from.
Well, yeah, I just was working out whether you had to go and fetch the camera, because I think as soon as you, like, turn back to address them and, like, I think you go to attend to them, because they're, like, calling out to you, and then, like, you look back and the wolf is gone.
Oof. Yeah, Hart will spend a minute observing the absence of this wolf, in essence, before going back in.
Yeah.
And we'll very quickly just sort of like tear through one of those stacks of papers that had been neat. We'll just start rummaging and make some very quick notes.
Yeah.
And that takes a few minutes while you two are doing whatever, and then we'll round on you. So
I think like as Ray sees you doing this, they like turn and they're like, "No need to pay that boy no mind. He'd been following me, some days. Good as gold."
I just sort of look a little concerned, but also like that doesn't hugely surprise me.
It's a very slow Jeep.
Yeah, exactly. And
like wolves can keep up like a not inconsiderable pace at a moment.
For a time.
I mean, of course I rested when he got tired. Like, what do you take me for, a monster?
No. So at that declaration, Hurt will pause and like dig some more in these papers and like make a couple more notes and then turn on you and be like, "Are you telling me that's a domesticated wolf?"
No.
Great,
No,
then I need to make... Great.
He's a friend.
And then back to digging through papers.
We were both headed this way, so we thought we'd ride convoy.
Yeah, cool. What are you up to?
I think I have like asked permission from Ray to like check their like blood pressure and things like that. Like I've just sort of immediately gone into like, well, you know, you're here and I'm here and we're not doing anything, so like I want to check that you're not dying more than last time I saw you. So I think I've sort of like asked if I can do that, and so unless they like put up a big fuss, I will just like immediately begin like get out my little kind of like kit, which I just have in my bag, and it's got like a blood pressure monitor in there, and so I think I'm like taking raised blood pressure and writing it down in a little like.
But you
and, like,
can't search for facts,
like measuring their
can you?
heartbeat and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You can't search for facts though, can you?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. In which case,
Ray's heartbeat is even but very, very slow.
yeah.
Their blood pressure is totally normal. And their wrists are like really, really like withered and like their wrists are just like bone and like really prominent tendons and then like wrinkled skin. But then their hands are like strong and like worn.
I think though that there's definitely like something that makes you I think you have this thing where you keep being like you keep noticing like when you first go to take take the heart rate or first go to take the blood pressure and things like that, it seems really like right up there and out of it, like a number that doesn't make sense, and then like you could swear that like if you put your thumb on your fingers on Ray's wrist or whatever, like there would be like the heartbeat would be like da 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 da, right? But only when you start the measurement, and you just keep assuming that there's something up with like your perception of it.
Yeah.
I think it's that, but it's reverse. It's like at first there's like just a good like 5 seconds
there's
just nothing,
like there's just nothing for a
and
while.
then doo-doo.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I get the sense that their body is pretending to me.
Agueda and I sharing space with each other.
Comfortably?
I mean, I'm comfortable.
Quietly share space with someone.
Quietly sharing? Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that is a thing that is happening.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. Particularly because I'm not searching for facts. Like this isn't actually me trying to solve something. This is me just like re-familiarizing myself with the entity that is Ray. Like relearning what Ray's body is doing and what its status is.
Yeah. So you're both quietly sharing space, so you can both roll a move.
Cool.
Okey-doke.
Let's roll steady. I got a 7.
Very nice. Which means that you can clear a distance.
Emily, oh no.
Oh yeah. You've got the plus.
That would be a 7.
It would be a 7.
Oh, that's right. I only put
minuses.
Minus?
Yeah.
Okay, so 7. Yeah.
We both did it. We both clear a distance.
Dun, ta-da.
Well done. What distances did you clear in that interaction? What is?
This is the thing. This is what I love about this game is how like quickly
we've got to make it work.
I've only got one for you. So
Yeah, same.
So it's that one.
It's
Yeah.
that one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Which is?
Minus Agueda is responsible for why I am as I am.
So why is that no longer?
Yeah. So
Why is
like,
that changing here?
so like, here is the thing. I actually think Ray's opinion is that the medicine doesn't help. Like, I think Ray very deliberately let the medicine run out and avoided, and I think Ray's position is that like their body works the way that it works, and the fact that it doesn't fit your like normative expectation of what it should work like that doesn't mean they need to be medicated. You just need to accept that not all bodies are the same. And so it's like, yeah, like you're responsible for why like I'm still having this like lingering sickness, because having this medication was not actually good for me.
It doesn't fit your body and the way that it works. Yeah.
But I think I've forgiven you, right? Because like I feel like evident in this moment, or at least what Ray takes from this moment, is that like a reminder that like you do, like you care, and it comes from a place of like caring and wanting to make things better, and that makes it like not okay, but like
closer to benign.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I really like that. So my one is I don't understand the actions of Ray, like in regards to the way you're moving around. What about that changes in this situation?
I mean,
because
is it like the reciprocal opposite of like you kind of like realize and like reckon with the fact that like my body is not like my body doesn't do the normal body things, but that's okay?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's a little more abstract than that. I think it is like it is less a specific thought Agueda has along the lines of like, this is actually okay, and more like there is something about taking these measurements and having them feel strange and like unpredictable. That is just very fitting with like what Agueda knows of like the character of Ray, like that Ray is this kind of like strange and mysterious and unknowable force to some degree. And so I think like where like normally her reaction to this would be like she would be worried because there would be some, like it would indicate some strange health crisis. Actually this just feels it feels like the right way for your body to behave.
Yeah, and I think like the visible beat that we see is Ray's like ran out of medicine when I was wintering in Wyoming. Probably 8 months back. And it's that like admission that like they haven't been taking the medicine and yet they're fine.
I think at this point you're like Agueda, you're like I'll take it again, right? And like you check the pulse, and like there's nothing, right? And it's long enough that like he should pass out and like start suffering, and then
they should.
Oh, sorry, that they should pass out and they should start like probably having brain damage, and you're like, what the fuck? And then Jay, do you like turn and smile to her, and then the heart starts up again? Like they should be dead in that like second, right? Like
I think it's great too, because there is like, I definitely, once it sort of goes on a couple of minutes, I like kind of furrow my brow, and then I like look up at their face, and I think that like, I don't know, I imagine that maybe like there is this moment where like it seems like Ray is specifically like intentionally looking at something else, it's like being distracted by something on the wall, and kind of gives me a smile of like, oh, is this what you were waiting for? Like as they turn to me and the heart starts.
They're contemplating the taxidermied the taxidermy animal, and then they turn and like somewhat like thoughtfully and like a little bit sadly, and then they just like they notice that you're there again and re-engage. They kind of turn to you and there's they just give you this like guileless like smile of like, oh, hello.
Oh, that's so good. So she just kind of like makes a little like and takes the
there's a little mo of like
it takes the monitor off and like begins sort of packing everything away, and kind of like gives you a sort of a nod and is like, yes, everything's fine.
So good. At this juncture, Hart will drift back from like just in the like the admin, air quotes, the admin back of this ranger station, which in my head is where Hart lives.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
With 3 cups of coffee in her hands and sets one down near Gueda. You still take yours black, yeah?
She nods. And I think there is also like there is a moment where like she nods and she kind of like reaches out a hand like in this instinctive kind of like you would pat a loved one when they bring you a cup of tea or something.
Yes.
But like by the time she like reaches out, like you've moved and like she just like pats you.
The rhythm is off.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hart will take a couple of steps to then face Ray and you. Your friend here. I don't recall. Hi, I'm Hart. Coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ray just like is like looking at you like with this like distant kind of like slightly sad look in their eyes, and then they like, blink and they're like, oh, yeah, thank you, and like reach out and take it and like reach into the coat, and they've got like a bottle of like agave syrup that they bought at like a Walmart or something, and they just like open it and pour like
too much.
Yeah, like an unreasonable amount of agave syrup into their coffee, and just like put the lid back on and tuck it away, and then like stir it with their finger again, and like the coffee is like steaming and hot, and they're just like stirring it with their finger, like
Well, it's like a hip flask, except it's like agave syrup.
Oh, I would 100% do that. Oh no.
And they've like in my head, I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna see it's ever gonna come back up. I got a good image, so I'm gonna share it. Like it's not, there's like a little pocket in there, and it's like hot sauce, agave syrup.
Yes.
Like they've got a row of like their favorite condiments that they just keep on them. Their preferred brand is like the really shitty Walmart brand / the brand you get from like the gas station.
I would 100% have a hip flask of like condensed milk. I would do that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like make it a thing. Listeners, this should be normal. Normalize
Well,
it.
you can make yourself ill wherever.
Emily, you're shutting down the party. Don't be a party pooper.
Andy, did you like? I'm thinking that maybe like we can like close on coffee.
Yeah, great.
And like take a break and then come back in on another scene.
Sounds great.
Cool. All right, we'll be back in a minute, chat.